The UN Volunteers Program has been supporting peace and development initiatives in Timor-Leste since 1999, with over 3,000 international volunteers deployed to support UN agencies and peacekeeping missions in the capital of Dili and in the districts. This year marks the 10th anniversary of the International Year of Volunteers, with the UN Volunteers Program designated as the lead agency to plan events for what is known as IYV+10. UNV in Timor-Leste coordinated with partners from the government and volunteer-involving organizations to implement an advocacy campaign to promote the value of volunteer action and community participation during the lead-up to IYV+10. Since the Timorese referendum, the UNV program has supported electoral processes with over 2,000 international volunteers deployed to Dili and the districts. This year, a national UN volunteer initiative was developed with the UN Development Program to provide civic education to first-time voters in secondary schools across the nation.
Primeira vez bahau no dar national UNV ida, hau bele hetang conhecimento kona ba lalau eleição niano, hau bele tung rasik mai a base atu fai informação sarneba itane comunidade itane estudantes na betina sanulur sanget ne baleteng atu ne sira bele hatene lalau eleição nia.
Equipe dene mahalau primeiro hata uro, ne ami sinto orgulho tebes. No anho contente tama idane atsai ane sang matéria ida mami. Tama agora me seguindo na idane tamba. Preparamos a eleição 2012 nia.
The National UNV project provides an opportunity for youth in schools to engage in the dialogue on volunteerism and reflect on the importance of community participation and civic responsibility.
I'm happy because United Nations is last time we only have international UNV, but this time we have a national UNVs. That's very good for the Timorese future, especially for the youth.
The UN Electoral Support Team, or UNEST, is a joint program between UNDP and the UN Integrated Mission for Timor-Leste, which includes community consultation in the lead-up to the elections. One component of the program targets women's participation in the electoral process through community meetings, providing an opportunity for the international and national UN volunteers to work together.
Treinamento idane ka a informação idane husi comunidade suku vila importante tebes atunune bele educação cívica na atu bele haklean e sernya conhecimento atunune bele hakat ba iha eleição 2012.
Another important element of the UNEST program is in the planning for the scheduled 2012 elections. Currently, there are 60 international electoral UN volunteers in country, with an expected total of 130 to be deployed by early next year in Dili and the 13 districts to support the electoral process.
At the end of November or beginning of December, then we're going to start the voters education for Suku level, and then going to the sub-district.
For the election, we do have our operation plan divided into 6 sub-districts, whereby we do have the number of people registered in each district according to the number of eligible voters. We make a plan how many ballot boxes we're going to provide for that area.
I volunteer for Timor-Leste.
How voluntario ba Timor-Leste?
I'm gonna do as a little trick. Wow, that's very nice. Sita, are you a volunteer?
Yes.
you, Mana?
Yes, of course, I'm volunteer for Timor-Leste.
In partnership with government and volunteer-involving organizations, an advocacy campaign was created for IYV+10. As part of the campaign and activities, presentations were created to introduce IYV+10 as a global initiative. The presentations were utilized in secondary schools, community centers, and for a national workshop of volunteer public health facilitators serving with the Ministry of Health. UN Volunteers program targeted youth in the community of Comoro, which is one of the most conflict-prone areas of Dili. Working with local community police officers, the activities offered an alternative to violence and promoted youth engagement and civic responsibility at the Comoro Community Center and several schools.
Atividade dene atu bele hanorim po insai sira o insa atu bele sai voluntário iha itania sai voluntário ba itania maluk sira ou ba itania comunidade.
To celebrate International Day of Peace on 21 September, UNV partnered with gender equality experts from the UNMIT Gender Unit and Alola Foundation for an event at the Nicolau Lobato Secondary School in Tasitolu. The event was opened with inspiring speeches to raise awareness of gender issues, followed by an all-girl volleyball tournament and traditional dances arranged by the students. The school is located in the outskirts of Dili, in a beach community prone to social problems and at risk for violence. UNV had previously visited the school, opening the dialogue on volunteerism and presenting IYV+10. The students showed a keen interest in learning about the global and local power of volunteerism, which led to the planning of the event.
Timor-Leste.
This year, national and international volunteer-involving organizations, such as the local Red Cross and the Japan International Cooperation Agency, implemented youth-oriented projects at the community level. The projects addressed development challenges with a creative approach and ranged from music workshops and concerts supporting HIV/AIDS awareness in Kofalima District to dance classes for children at Bafuturu Community Center in Tasitolu. International volunteers serving with the UN agencies and the mission address a wide range of programming initiatives to support the capacity development of Timor-Leste in coordination with government ministries and community leaders.
So today, 20th of November, is World Day of Prayer and Action for Children, coinciding with Universal Children's Day and 20th anniversary of Convention on the Rights of the Child. Today we had a Misa conducted by Bishop of Dili, and after the Misa we have a children's performance.
What does it mean, mobile justice? Yes. We would go to districts where court doesn't set up and trial cases. And another part of project, we would have training. At that time, prosecutor would train crime investigation section officers from PNTL, and we would go and do some legal awareness campaign in the region.
Many international UN volunteers take the initiative to implement projects directly within the communities where they serve and outside of their professional terms of reference, allowing them to integrate well and enrich their volunteer experience.
I volunteered myself to teach Portuguese through non-formal education methodologies to the local administration.
Supported by the UNV program, the majority of these projects address Millennium Development Goals that are designated as priorities for the government of Timor-Leste. Through the promotion of volunteer initiatives at the community level, people have a better understanding of the impact of their individual and collective actions.
I volunteer for Timor-Leste.
I volunteer for Timor-Leste.
I volunteer for Timor-Leste.
The 10th anniversary of the International Year of Volunteers has proved to be a significant opportunity for the UN Volunteers Program to celebrate with partners the commitment to continued peace and development in Timor-Leste.